Hi everybody, Kathy here. Welcome back to my channel, and for those who are new, I'm glad you stopped by. Today I'm doing a 1, 2, 3 scrapbooking challenge where I have to use 1 sketch, 2 colours and 3 words, and this is this month's one with this cute little page. Cuter than cute is so true. This is Willa, everybody. She's the new one in our family. So I'm using the Scrapbook Fantasies Lavender Dreams paper range, and I'm looking at number 5 here, which I'm going to use both sides of this because it's going to interweave for the feature of the layout. I am also using this one here, which is such a shame because I do love this wood grain, but I actually need the elements on that side to be fussy cut. I'm going to use this one here from the Traveller's Journal, and this is sheet number 6, and I'm using the peach on that side, but I do love the reverse. And this is the Lavender Dreams number 6, I think it is, and I am using this purple here as my base, and I'm also dragging in some Scrapbook Fantasies Cats and Dogs number 6 because I love that wood grain, and everybody that knows me knows I love the wood grain on my layouts. So I'm going to get started with this, and I'm going to use the purple, as I said, as my base, and I don't want to waste that purple. It's beautiful, and I don't just want little 1-inch strips or half-inch strips left. So what I'm doing is I'm going to cut out a 3/4 inch frame. Oh, actually, no, I think it's a 1/2 inch frame that I've decided on, and I'm going to pull that to the side to use on another layout, and then I'm cutting a 1-inch frame out of this cardstock because I will need it to cut my title and mount my photo. So that allows me to put this purple down as my base. Now the two colours are purples and peaches, so that's why I've gone with this colour scheme, and I'm using this beautiful Lavender Dreams range. It's just beautiful from Scrapbook Fantasies. I'll have all the details down below in my box, in the description box, for you to go and check out this wonderful range. Now, isn't this just beautiful, this paper? I am going to, as I said, use both sides of this paper, and you will see why in a moment, because on the sketch there is a circle, and instead of just being a flat circle, I decided I'm going to paper weave that circle. So I've done this on a couple of layouts before, and I thought, people have asked me how do you do it, so here's a chance to see how this one comes together. I'm going to adhere that down with some washi tape because I am going to be cutting circles. I start with this circle cutter right at the 10 centimetre mark. So it's right at the edge of that frame, and that allows me to cut out my first circle. Ideally, I would have liked it a little bit larger, one more circle, but it will do, and I will show you how I adapt that to my page. I'm then bringing it in 2 centimetres at a time, and I'm cutting out another circle, and I have to work with the circle working from the outer to the inner so that it cuts cleanly, and I can then put those to the side because in the moment I'm going to reverse them both ways, so you will see how the pattern just moves in and out for the weaving pattern. I'm going down 2 centimetres again, and that creates the next circle, and then once again I tape it down, and any rough edges doesn't matter because you'll see with the weaving that they get covered. And I'm cutting it again for another circle, and then I will have the final one from this one, and the very middle I need to keep because that's going to finish off with my paper weaving and keeping it nice and tight. To do the effect and to keep the colour scheme going, I am now cutting 1/2 inch strips of this Traveller's Journal paper, and I am going to weave those through the circle. I start off with 11, but in the end I think I need 12 to complete this circle. So as you can see, I've turned the circle inside, outside to get that paper effect there happening with the colours, and you see the peach is woven in as well. So what I'm doing here is I'm going under and over with my strip through the circle, and I'm going to continue doing that all the way across. So I have adhered the top strip, and at the bottom here, as you can see, I'm taking the paper strip off here, and once that's in place, my circles are now ready for me to start weaving all of my paper strips. So I have got double-sided tape at the top and at the bottom to allow me to manipulate it through this process. So all I'm doing is like you do with normal paper weaving, under and over, and I'm pulling it tight into each other, but leaving a little gap between. And that's to allow for the fact that the edges of the circle are curved. And you will see that as I build this, that you get that paper weave effect happening across the circle, and that's just an effective little trick to incorporate some interest into your layout. 1/2 inch, you can do your strips at different sizes depending on how many circles you have. Because I have only got a small circle here, I've stuck with the 1/2 inch strips. I have done one where I've used a full page circle that I've cut down from the 12 by 12, and I have used those as 3/4 strips to get this paper weaving effect happening. So this allows for the purples and the peaches to be interwoven, plus the patterns on the two sides of the double-sided cardstock, and that adds more visual impact for this layout. And it is fiddly, as you can see. So I'm not going to lie, it is tricky and it is fiddly, and you do need to manipulate your paper like you do when you paper weave. But the overall effect when it's done is worth the effort, and that's why this video is a little bit longer. As I said, this is from the 1, 2, 3 challenge, which is the sister page to Scrapbook Fantasies on Facebook. And Naomi John creates the sketches from which we work on this challenge. And I am using my Scrapbook Fantasies papers here to create the colour scheme that is from the challenge. But as you can see, these colours go together beautifully anyway. If you're interested in the papers, I will have all the details down below. Alicia creates them. She designs them and prints them here in Australia. They do send overseas, so you are more than able to order from Scrapbook Fantasies, which I said I will have down below for you, and they will send them around the world accordingly. All right, so I'm almost there paper weaving this circle. As you can see, I'm not telling you a joke. It's not a simple task. It is fiddly, but the desired outcome makes it worth the effort. So I'm just getting close to the end, and this is when I realize I'm going to actually need another strip on that side to finish it off properly. I'm rearranging it. That's why you only put the tape at both ends so that you can align it and manipulate it accordingly until you're happy with your final outcome. And isn't that paper weaving effect so dramatic and so different to just a plain circle as was the sketch? Now that little circle in the middle there, that will go into the center, and that will adhere all the strips into place and hold everything together. Now this final one's a little bit tricky because you do want it to be under and over, but as you get towards the outer circle, you make a decision whether how many more you'd like to add to hold down that circle, or where is the end of your paper stripping going to happen. So I'm just adding in here, making sure that I have enough of the contrast happening in the paper weaving, and I look at it closely and realize that no, it's not quite there yet, so I keep adding until the circle is equally balanced in its weaving across the layout, and you have that measure of the apricot in with the purples, and you have that beautiful, well, not apricot, it's a peachy color there into the balance of the layout. When you're happy, you put down your tape at the end, and that adheres everything into place and keeps that paper weaving from moving. So now that I've just finished it, I realize, yep, I think that is coming together nicely. I'll add in this circle here to hide those plain strips down the middle, and there is the center. So there's my interwoven circle, and I do realize at that point that that outer one needs one more. So you need to just play with it till you are happy that you have enough in your circle and that it has woven evenly across the whole gamut, the whole circumference, the whole diameter of your circle. Now that's down, I'm happy with that final outcome. You can see now that there's an equal balance on both sides, that there is that woven texture across, and it makes a very startling little circle for you to have on your layout. All right, now down to the regular stuff. We're just going to put a cardstock backing onto this photo to pop it off that background. And as per the sketch, we are going to use this wood grain here to lift in behind to layer up. Now, I didn't cut the fussy cut elements on the back of this layout because I just wanted to keep those and use those further down on different layouts, so that wood grain fits in beautifully to pop the colours on this layout. I'm now going back and using 2 parts of the paper where the circle came from to add extra layering in behind this photo as per the sketch, and I'm keeping the colour scheme true as is required for the challenge. And you can see that by having the lines of the wood grain running horizontally across the page adds an eye catching difference to the lines of the paper weaving which are running vertically. So this is about causing the eye to roam the layout, but as you can see, the photo stays front and center. So off screen, I actually trimmed off the excess of that paper weaving so that it sat beautifully against the edge of the base. I have got the title cut from my Cricut which says cuter than cute, and I have fussy cut a whole range of different scrapbook fantasies, different cut aparts, different embellishments from their colour cuts and from the paper where I have cut out those fussy cut elements. Now I'm adding some butterflies, and I have 3 butterflies to draw the triangle in for the eye. I'm going to pop parts of this clustering so that it gives dimension and it gives some interest to the circling of the elements. When you are building your clusters, you just play with them until you're happy with the overall effect. Now, as I said, some of them I am leaving flat against the layout. Others I am using foam tape or foam dots to lift it up to give that interest and keep that circle happening around like a wreath effect. And that's following the details of the sketch from the challenge. Now, all of these beautiful colours come together so well. They look very, very complementary because they're on the other side of each other on the colour wheel, and they also complement my photo by using the colours that are within the photo, and that's why Willa in that photo pops even though there is so much going on in the backgrounds. So I'm just popping up the last of it. I do like to fold my butterfly wings up so that they stand up off the page. It looks like they're going to fly. And I am now just going to glue down my title. It is a Cricut cut title, so it has the shadowing behind, which is in that peach colour, and the text is actually cut from that purple that I used for the circle. I'm just using my pen now to outline certain parts of this layout. I'm going to do a border around the actual frame here, and I'm going to add corner edgings to it so it looks like it's a picture frame, and that's just a little bit of doodling to build up the layout and give it some more dimension and some more interest. As you can see, it is still not drawing the eye. That peach at the side is just a little bit still, just looking not quite finished as far as I can tell, as far as I feel. Now, you can leave it as you like there, but I like to finish my edges and make sure that my layout is a complete package. Now, as I said, I was a little bit short on the circle, I felt. So I'm just going to doodle in an extra round like some faux stitching, just so that it expands that circle and gives that circle image right across, just as Naomi John has done on hers in the sketch. So I'm putting in that faux stitching, and I did do white on the purple, but then I'm going back over it with this purple gel pen over the top of the white because I want it to kind of blend a little bit better. I felt that the white was a little bit too stark against the purple. I didn't want it to stand out so much. I just wanted it to blend in, and that was by going over it with the purple I was able to do that. All right, so I have added in that it's Willa and she's only 12 weeks old. Look at her, she's a little cutie. And then, as I said, I'm adding in the details here to create a picture frame effect to the layout. It also gives it an optical illusion that you're looking down into a tunnel effect. And I then use some distress ink, which is the something Concord. What's it called? Dusty Concord. Oh my goodness. The Dusty Concord from Tim Holtz. And that's the color I'm using to just distress edge the whole layout. And that's going to give me that final edging that I feel now that the layout feels a little bit more finished. And that's how this layout has come together. Nice and tricky at parts, but looks very effective when it's all completed. To finish off, I'm going to use some pops of colour, and that's going to set up my visual triangle. I have 3 dots there, I have 3 over in this one, and I'm going to bring the third one down here to the bottom. That will automatically draw your eye around the layout. Now, the best thing about pops of colour, when you flick in underneath, they flatten out like an enamel dot, and they will add that enamel dot addition to the page so that you have your clusters really padded out. So here is my layout for today. I hope there was something here that inspires you to get creative and get another everyday history page completed for your layouts and in your albums. Give me a thumbs up if there's something that you like. It lets YouTube know that you like my content. Have a go. Don't be afraid. Try something different. Take yourself out of the comfort zone. I really look forward to seeing people getting creative. Don't forget to check out all the details at Scrapbook Fantasies. They'll be in the details down below. I really am grateful that you have stuck out this video to the end. It is a little bit longer than normal, but as you can see, it was worth it in the end. Thank you once again for watching. Stay tuned now for my next recommendation for something to watch after this. Happy scrapping till next time.